Welcome back to the foundry on this early spring morning. Got something kind of cool to show you. Here we have a 1976 Harley Electra Glide. A customer of mine brought me this back during the winter. Asked me to warehouse it and sell it in the spring. Well, it is springtime and I've already got somebody coming to look at it. Guy's a Harley enthusiast. He said he's had several of these, so he ought to be pretty knowledgeable. I'm not a Harley guy, so I mean, I've sold a lot of Harley parts over the years, but I've never owned one or worked on one, and I have only ridden a few. So he'll know more about it than I do. And it's got a little dust on it. I always love how, and that happened before it came here. I always love how people bring me stuff to sell and it's absolutely filthy. But yeah, seat needs to be recovered. And true to form, it's got an oil leak. Now, I have studied this a little bit and I think it may be some type of chain oiler. I looked in the primary, I pulled the plug on the primary and it didn't have much oil in it, so I don't think that's coming from the primary case. I think it might be some kind of, like I said, some kind of chain oil or something. I'm not overly familiar with these. I do know it's got a sump system, so your crankcase oil is actually, the reservoir for it's right here. And it's got plenty of oil in it, and it dumped quite a bit. That's there was quite a bit more than that, and the oil's still full. So I don't know, it's got me puzzled. Maybe this guy that's coming will know a little something about it. I believe they call these a shovel head. Again, not sure. But I'm gonna get it cranked up, moved outside where he can take a good look at it, ride it around. This sucker's loud, man. It's got drag pipes on it. This sucker is loud. And it will vibrate you to pieces. It is atypical old Harley. And people go nuts over these. And it's kind of cool. I'm gonna take it for a spin after I get it up out of the warehouse here. I'm gonna run it around the block, make sure everything works good on it. But right now, I'm gonna go and drink some coffee because it is super early. Clutch is touchy. it runs good. It's got plenty of power, drives good, doesn't stop too good. I've never been happy with Harley brakes. I mean, they are just really subpar. Rotors aren't even vented, and ain't but one of them on the front, and you can tell a difference compared to my Honda 1000 Custom. It's a 83 model. It's got massive brakes on it, and man, and that bike's heavy, and it doesn't stop nearly as good as new ones, but it stops better than this one. So that'll catch you by surprise if you're not used to it. And there's probably something that could be done to, you know, better pads or turn the rotors or whatever, I don't know. But old boy's coming to look at it here in a few minutes. Well, you got it out here where you can see it good in this daylight. See how dusty it is anyway. But under all that dust, I think it'd clean up good. Mechanically, it seems to be pretty sound. It needs a few things. You know, the handlebar bushings, they're a little floppy. Clutch cable needs to be adjusted. I stalled it once in the warehouse, and it tries to creep when it's in gear, and it's very hard to find neutral while it's running. That clutch cable needs to be adjusted, or the clutch itself, I don't know. How many miles on this thing? It looks like 8,400-ish. Don't know if that works. I actually didn't even look down. I think the speedometer works. I think it did. I don't know. But it's kind of a project bike for somebody. Or, you know, just use it as it is and don't worry about road grime and, you know, whatever. Or you could really clean it up nice, re-chrome some stuff. I do have the factory pipes for it. I don't have the other seat, but I got the factory pipes and I got another set of gas tanks for it. And that'll go with it. Clean title. It's a good looking rig. I'm not real big on the fat body, big fairings and all that kind of stuff, but this one is kind of, the fairing anyway, it's kind of low profile compared to some. It's got plenty of lights on it. That's always good. You can't have too many lights on a motorcycle. Anyway, it is what it is, as they say. Well, I'm fixing to get back to work, and maybe this guy will show up here in just a few minutes, and this will be gone, hopefully. See ya. Well, that went really well. I have got a fish on the line. This guy was a thoroughbred Harley-Davidson man. He had a beard ponytail. He had a beard ponytail 30 inches long. Super nice guy, but more importantly, he was really knowledgeable. These enthusiasts, man, they just really geek out on this stuff. So he was telling me every little thing about it, what year they converted the something to something, and he was telling me about the engine and transmission combinations that they offered during that time period or whatever. It was great, but I did get him to tell me about the oil leak, and he knew all about it. He said every one of them do that. What it is, it's kind of what I had thought. It's in a roundabout way. It's the crankcase vent tube. Originally, they vented them to the primary case. When people didn't like that, it was filling the primaries full of oil. It would make its way back into the crankcase and carry all the crap from the primary into the engine. So they would seal those off, and they would unhook that crankcase vent and move it above the front sprocket, and it would act as a chain oil. So that's what it is. Now, why? He said it's actually adjustable. The oil flow through it's adjustable right there. I guess that's what he said anyway. So that's kind of what I figured. It was something like that. And he told me about he's going to convert it to Kickstart if he buys it. He loves Kickstart. He had all kinds of accessories and stuff he was going to put on it. Real knowledgeable guy. So hopefully he'll come through. He's going to go round up some money, and I think he'll come back. You never can tell, honestly, but I've had them all. I've had them come and, oh, I want it, I'll be back tomorrow, and you never hide or hear of them again. And then sometimes they say, I got to think about it, and then they show up and buy it. So, who knows? Well, I'm glad I got some interest in it, and it's really before I even listed it, so that's good. And I'll get this one gone, and then we'll move to something else. Well, if you like motorcycles, hope you enjoyed the video, something a little different. And now I've got to be productive for the rest of the day, so I'm going to get to it. Man, those Harley guys really geek out on some motorcycle talk. Kind of like me and banjos.